things going here. It's a couple minutes past our normal start time. Welcome, everyone. It's November 5th, 2025. I'll call to order the planning board session for this evening. Alphabetical roll call, please.
Amy Glassmeyer.
Kevin Hein, present.
Deirdre Hobson, present.
Oops.
Birgit Schmidt-Bishop, present.
And town planner Cassandra Thayer is joining us, as well as Justin. Justin, I forget your last name. I don't want to miss it up here. Parada.
Yep.
Thank you.
Yep.
Town council is in attendance. We have an agenda that includes one A&R, and Cassandra, if you want to introduce that and introduce the attendees for that. Do we have a third-party report on that as well? Or is that not something that we have for that?
No, so we don't do peer reviews for
That's
A&Rs. So the A&Rs for 4650 Duane Street, and you have Dylan Brady on from Grady Consulting.
Okay, I see Dylan there. Dylan, can you hear us? We see you're muted, but we can see you.
His audio might be separate, so that's coming in now.
Okay.
Good evening.
He's just gonna mime it all. There you go.
Sorry, my audio device is different from my video device. I appreciate that.
Okay, we can hear you loud and clear. We can see you. Will you be presenting for the applicants?
Yes, I will be. Yep, I can present anytime you guys are ready.
Okay, well, you are the sole placeholders on our agenda this evening. We've had a call to order. We have 4 members in attendance, and the stage is yours.
Wonderful. I'll share my screen here so everyone can see the plan. And can everyone see that all right?
Yes.
Wonderful. For the record, Dylan Brady with Grady Consulting. Here to represent the applicant and owner, John Carlson, for the A&R plan at 46 and 50 Doane Street. The existing lot and buildings are very old. The lot was created in 1947, I believe, with the buildings around that same time. The existing lot is this L shape here, and it has 2 dwellings, 46 and 50 on it, with an existing garage. And A&R is proposing to separate these 2 lots with this lot line created down the middle. We are in the village district. Both lots are conforming to all zoning requirements. And with that, I'll just answer any questions the board may have about the project.
The zoning requirements for the village district, are they shown on this figure? And if so, can you highlight them to a larger scale?
Absolutely, yes. Everyone can see that. We have a block right here, the village.
Okay. And one of the items on this is lot frontage. And it is on a, I'm just going to begin the discussion here. It is on a public street. Doane Street is a public street. Is that correct?
Yes, Doane Street's a public street.
Okay. And the figure as I see it, can you zoom in on what that frontage is on that figure for us?
Yeah, so required is 50. And then if you're looking for the proposed amounts, the total frontage of one lot will be 97.06. And the other one will be 64.55.
And the sum of those two is the 112.19?
The 112.19 is the sum of the curve. It doesn't take into account also this 49.43. So in totality of the existing frontage on the lot, it would be 112.19 plus 49.43, which would be approximately 162 feet.
You may have lost me there. You said that 112 figure represents a curve as opposed to frontage?
Well, it's both, yes. So Doane Street has a straight line here, and then it begins to curve at this point right here. So if you're looking for the total frontage just of each lot, this lot with it has a half straight line and a half curve would be 97.06, and this one's fully on a curve with the total frontage being 64.55.
Okay, So then this plan as presented.
Kevin, you got muted somehow.
Oh, yeah, I think I muted there.
Kevin, you're
Apologies to-
muted.
Apologies there. I'm moving things with my finger and hit the mute button. So to that, has this figure in front of us been attested by a duly licensed professional?
That's correct. Yes, Timothy Bennett is a professional land surveyor.
Can you show me where that is on this? I guess you're
Absolutely.
zoomed in, probably. Got it. Okay. I don't have any other questions. I'll turn it to any colleagues.
Oh, Amy Glassmeyer.
Yeah.
I'd like to understand if there's any issue related to the structures when it comes to some type of historic classification.
Yeah, what issues would there be?
Well, I mean, just as you mentioned that this is a configuration that is possibly as old as the 1940s, and that the structures on this are also something like the 1940s. And so I'm curious whether or not there is any additional historic conditions that might underpin the change that you're planning to make.
Yeah, I think I understand your question. The existing building on 46, I'm glad you asked. It does actually, it doesn't meet the regular required setback of 10 feet. It's at 9.6. However, that's an exterior line, so we're not touching that line, and so it's going to stay at 9.6. You know, whether we get the A&R endorsed or not. But besides that, these buildings both conform to every other setback. Of course, frontage here doesn't conform either. So this 46 doesn't really conform to today's horizontal zoning standards, but that has nothing to do with the line that we're proposing today in splitting the lot in half.
So I'm looking at this from the perspective of left and right, and I'm going to call the left side as if I'm facing the street. And what is the dimensions of this particular line, the line that seems to bisect the property?
Yeah, so the one that bisects the property, the one that we're proposing.
That's
it goes-
correct.
Okay, yeah.
What's
so
the
it's,
difference? What's the distance to the building?
It is 10 feet for 50, and we don't have it dimensioned for 46 because it's closer to the other sideline. But I'm anticipating it looks somewhere in the 20 feet range. But 10 feet is the minimum requirement for a setback to a side lot line, so it does conform.
Okay, and what about the front of the right lot where it kind of, it's not actually parallel. It's got a slight kind of cant to it, and it's on one side higher and the other side lower. So what's how are you splitting the difference in terms of the frontage line? Is that what you're doing?
Not quite, no. So number 50 is getting less frontage than 46, and I believe this was done because of the lot size requirement and some of the shape factors. So no, it doesn't quite bisect right down the middle, but it was given enough frontage each.
Okay, so I'm particularly interested in the left corner facing Doan Street. So you can see that it's not actually parallel with the road. It's slightly canted downward. What's going on there?
Yeah, I mean, it looks like, the building wasn't built quite parallel to the road. Again, this part of the road is actually on a curve. It's not a straight line, but if you're looking for just a setback, it's 4.9 feet from the road, which that doesn't conform with the front setback. But again, like this building was built long before today's zoning. And again, the front line as well as the left line are existing. They're not the ones that we're proposing, so it's non-conforming either way.
Okay. I
Just
think
so-
that's,
just-
go ahead.
I
Who is
just
ever
saw-
speaking?
It's Deirdre Hobson. Just so I'm clear, these buildings are a wreck, so they're coming down. We're building new buildings there. Is that new homes?
I believe that's the intent. I don't want to speak for Mr. Carlson. I don't know fully if that's the intent.
Okay.
Whether he's going to raise these buildings and put a new one, I believe so.
I would believe so. They are uninhabitable right now, so just curious. Okay, thank you.
Thank you.
Birgit, do you have any points?
Yeah,
of
just a question
comment?
of, yeah,
questions?
Birgit Schmidt-Wiesche, why do you want to do the A&R? Why do you want to split this property into two?
Yeah. Again, I can't speak fully for Mr. Carlson. I don't know exactly what the plans are, but I do believe that the intent is to raise this pre-existing non-conforming dwelling and put up a new one. But currently, all I know is that he does just want to split his parcel into two.
If a building were raised, that was, in this case, and Justin, this would be a question for you. If the building was raised that was out non-conforming, could the replacement building be built on that same footprint with the non-conforming setbacks in this case and be approved?
A very complicated analysis. It certainly could not be built outside that footprint. And you certainly could build something that's conforming. It looks like there'd be enough space there to build a conforming building. If you wanted to take advantage of the pre-existing non-conforming status of the structure, you'd have to show first the building inspector that it's not more detrimental. And sometimes that can be more detrimental even if it's within the footprint of the existing building. It certainly couldn't make to the extent there's zoning frontage issues, it couldn't make those worse. Let's put it that way.
Yeah. Okay, thank you. I appreciate the clarification. I know we've had some other buildings where they've been what looks to be like fully replaced, and yet it was right where something existing was that was many, many years old and non-functional. But, you know, there might be something from the old thing still in there, you know. I just was looking for a bit of clarification on that. Appreciate that. So applicants, duly note Justin as town council is tied into these things, not just with town of Cohasset, but for other towns in the Commonwealth. And you don't necessarily have to present that as a part of your A&R, but you know, if we see you again, that's something to consider. Any other questions or points by members of the board to the applicants with regard to their request for endorsement of this A&R? Seeing none, do I hear a motion from any member of the board?
I'll make a motion to approve the A&R on Doan Street. Excuse me, I don't have the date in my brain. Could someone tell me what the actual address is?
46 to 50?
46 and 50 Doan Street, and approve this A&R the 5th day of November 2025.
Anyone want to
Do I hear a
unmute?
second?
There we go.
Second.
Okay, haven't heard the motion to endorse the A&R at 46 and 50 Doan Street at this meeting at this time, and seconded. Can we have a alphabetical roll call vote, please?
Amy Glassmeyer, aye.
Kevin Heine, aye.
Deirdre, you are
Deidre?
on mute.
Deirdre Hobson, aye. Thank you. Sorry, Brigitte.
Birgit Schmidt-Wiesche, aye.
Okay, this has been endorsed in full by all members present at the board. Dylan, we appreciate your time and information with regard to this. Good luck with your project.
Thank you very much, everyone. Have a great night.
Thank you.
Thank you.
And Cassandra, we had a couple points of administrative order.
Yes, so before you go into your executive session, you have two sets of minutes. You have October 1st and October 15th.
And haven't looked at those and not seen anything requiring attention. Does anyone else have any issues before we would do alphabetical roll call vote to approve those?
No, I
Okay,
make a motion to approve them, Kevin.
I will second that. I will.
I second that.
Okay, we'll take your second, Amy, and alphabetical roll call vote, please. Are we voting for both or one? Is this are we endorsing
vote
both
for
of these
both,
sets of minutes?
Cassandra?
Okay,
Yeah, you can do both. I
Yeah.
assumed your motion was for both.
okay. Alphabetical roll call vote, please.
Amy Glassmeyer, aye.
Kevin Heine, aye.
Deirdre Hobson, I.
Fish eye.
Okay, approval for both sets of minutes moves forward. And Cassandra, just a point of clarification, our next meeting is on the 19th at this point, but is there still nothing on the agenda?
Yes.
Okay,
So that is correct. And then also, just a slight update for the board, just a reminder that if you wanted to provide any feedback to the state on the model bylaws for solar and battery storage, I think the deadline is the 14th, so next Friday. They do have another public session where you could verbally give feedback tomorrow, or you can give written feedback directly to them at their email address, and I can forward that if anybody needed it to be brought back up into their mailbox.
Cassandra, were you providing feedback on those as a planning professional?
Yeah, so the feedback is open to not only professional staff, but planning boards and zoning boards as well.
Yeah, okay. You and I discussed after I had taken a look at one of those, just what I saw as some kind of high level, perhaps issues that might apply to the town with regard to them. You know, they're pretty formulary. They seem to rely on a lot of existing state regulations, either, you know, fire protection regulations that exist, or it defers to other regulations that towns may or may not have, and they may or may not have as robust as other towns have with regard to, an example might be noise. They're kind of packed with quite a bit of information. And one of the things I had just mentioned, and I'm just going to mention this to the board, if you have an opportunity to take a look at these, I would encourage you to do so and provide any feedback, either directly or feedback to Cassandra with regard to what you might see as, you know, ways that they, yeah, I guess the feedback is you know, all encompassing, ways that you see they could be improved, ways you see that we may have some issues with them, or they may fall through the cracks with the application of them in our town here. So feel free to do that. And Cassandra, thank you for hearing me out with regard to my just kind of overview with regard to one of them. And they get pretty specific pretty quick, but they do start relying on other things that are out there. And our town has some bylaws with regard to some of the other things it relies on, and in other areas it probably doesn't. And those could be gaps that we don't want to leave those open, I think. So. Because these are things by right, Cassandra? So I mean, that means, you know, if this goes forward, these can start appearing in front of us. And if we don't have references to other things that would control them, then we could start having issues. All right.
On that note, the only other thing on your agenda is the executive session, which you guys would go into, and then I would presume close open session from there.
Can I just ask a question? We got an email from Katie Duggan today. I know Amy looked at it. That
Mhm.
is the property that we previously already, I mean, they already came back to us at some point. Am I clear on this? Didn't they
They
come
have-
back to us at some point
They have
recently?
not.
At
No,
all, since 1998. I thought
Well-
it's a different property. I feel like they came back to us and said a couple of years ago when I first joined the board that they wanted to see if there was some possibility there. So now they're back at it again, or?
So there's what you're likely referring to is the ongoing litigation between the board and that property.
They did have a meeting this morning that Amy and I attended, where they went in front of the sewer commission. And their intent was to figure out.
Birgit,
I-
we're
I
going
think-
into executive
Yeah,
session.
I think we
to
should go
discuss
into
Yeah,
an
yeah.
executive
So,
session.
so, so that's totally different.
Okay,
You
I'm
can't talk
sorry.
about-
I shouldn't have even brought it up. Sorry.
No, that's okay. That's totally different. And it's, we can have an executive session on that, but because it wasn't noticed, the executive session, I mean, not tonight, but at some point, this is for, what is it? Weather vane? Is that the?
Yeah.
is that the-
Tonight's
the-
tonight's is for the weather vane.
Yes.
Yeah, the
litigation.
weather
Weather
vane.
vane is the street, yeah.
But
Yes.
that was
So we
a
gotta limit
different-
the discussion just to that,
We do.
Okay.
once we go in
Uh,
executive
We'll
session.
see you in executive and we'll worry about
Okay.
that later.
Okay.
No, that's
so-
okay.
Sorry, thank you.
You just
So-
need to make the motion to go
Somebody needs
into-
to make them, yeah.
Okay, so I'm going to put forth a motion now and we'll vote on it to go into executive session. And it's from executive session, we'll actually close out, at the conclusion of the executive session, we close out our planning board meeting this evening. But the motion here is to go into executive session. Let's all get there within the next 3 or 4 minutes, please. You have a link by separate email that was forwarded to you from Cassandra.
Oh, we do? Do I have that, Cassandra?
If you don't, I will
Oh,
forward it to you
Yeah,
right now.
yeah, that's because Carolyn was.
About
the resident and she
resending
had-
it to everybody.
Sure. Do we have a second?
Second.
Yes, I'm sorry, I interrupted.
Second,
Okay.
second.
Motion having been seconded, let's do alphabetical roll call vote.
Well, no,
please.
wait, you gotta make the motion and explaining, do you have the language there explaining the purpose?
I have it up if you want me to read it out loud, Kevin.
Please do.
Okay. So the executive session pursuant to GL Chapter 30A, Section 21A3, to discuss strategy with respect to litigation if an open meeting may have a detrimental effect on the litigation or litigating position of the public body and the chair so declares. The board will discuss and strategize regarding Weathervane Builders LLC versus Town of Cohasset Planning Board, Land Court Case Number 25 miscellaneous 000581 parentheses MDV regarding the denial of a common driveway special permit for 4046 Pond Street.
Okay,
Please resend the link to
So,
the.
so you gotta, so someone
I
should
see
make
it.
them, so moved, and then.
So
a vote
moved,
to-
so moved.
so moved.
Second.
And it was seconded, alphabetical roll call vote.
Amy Glassmar, aye.
Kevin Heine, aye.
Deirdre Hobson, I.
Birgit Schmidt-Besch, aye.
Okay, take a
Great.
look for the link.
See you in a
We'll
couple of seconds.
gather it up in the next couple of minutes. Thank you.